Que c'est beau le football. Que c'est beau le football. You see, when football is played the way it was played tonight, c'est fantastique. C'est tout simplement fantastique, les amis. First leg, final score at the Emirates. Arsenal 0, PSG 1. PSG go back to Paris with a 1-0 advantage. And listen, it's far from being over. Anything can still happen in the second leg. However, we have to talk about what we just watched tonight. But before we get into it, please hit the like button, subscribe button, share button. Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you do all of these things for me. Algorithm. You know how this works. By doing these things, you're contributing to the channel going to the right places. So please do these things for me. Now listen, very rarely have we seen teams outplay Arsenal. But tonight, I'm willing to go as far as saying that this was a footballing lesson. Because the way PSG played at the Emirates tonight, that was outstanding. The level of control, the level of calmness, the level of technical security, of technical execution, both feet from whoever was on the pitch was absolutely incredible. What Luis Enrique has managed to build with this PSG team is simply beautiful. It is simply beautiful. Now, the game started like a house on fire, and there's something that I noticed at the start of the game. PSG kicked off the game. Dembele played the ball to Vitinha, I think, and the ball was played straight out for a throw-in so that PSG can push up and try and box Arsenal in. And listen, speaking of boxing stuff in, one thing that PSG are really good at is pressing. Everyone thinks they're a good pressing team until a real pressing team comes along and shows you how it's done. The way PSG were pressing today, that was just, it was immense. The lungs that you have to be doing that amount of pressing for 90 minutes is ridiculous. And Arsenal tried to do their fair share of pressing, but that's exactly how they got caught out. Because as Arsenal were pressing very high, Odegaard, Saka, they were trying to press Pacho, they were trying to press Nuno Mendes, and Nuno Mendes finds a gap. And this is why I said at the beginning, both feet. Nuno Mendes finds a gap in Arsenal's midfield, plays a right-footed pass into Dembele, who had dropped deep into midfield. Remember, he was playing the false nine. Dembele starts to move, plays it out Kvaratskhelia. And this is another thing, and this is how I know, this is another thing, and this is how I know it was an instruction from Arteta, which isn't a bad thing. I think Arteta told, especially in the first half, his players to double up on Kvaratskhelia because he knew that once this guy's on the ball, it doesn't matter. 1 player, 2 players, 3 players, he can get past them because he's technically that skilled. And that's where Arsenal made a mistake. Like I said, the ball goes, the ball gets played out to the left-hand side out wide. Kvaratskhelia, I think it was Timber who was on him. Rice came to help. Remember, they got told to double up on him. And that's where they got caught out because Dembele was completely free inside the box, who made that late run. Lovely pass outside of the foot to Dembele. Dembele hits it first time into the ground, post, inside of the net. Inside of the post, into the back of the net, and it's 1-0 after 4 minutes. And that goal was very, very similar to the goal against Liverpool, because against Liverpool away, Dembele starts to move as well, and he finishes it. So you can definitely tell that this is something that they work on in training. And listen, they've executed it to perfection. And I think before the game, Luis Enrique gave an interview or was talking in the press conference, and he said that we've prepared for all phases of the game against them. Something along those lines. And boy, did they prepare well. Because as good as they were going forward, defensively, you have to give it to PSG as well. Defensively, they were outstanding. Some of the last-ditch tackles that I saw today. João Neves, one on Rice, another one on Trossard. I mean, it was just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I told you guys about that midfield. Hey, listen, last week, or I think 2 weeks ago, I said that this PSG midfield of João Neves, Vitinha, and Fabian Ruiz is one of the most balanced in the, not in the league, but yes, in the French league. But that midfield of Fabian Ruiz, João Neves, and Vitinha is one of the most balanced midfields in Europe, if not the most balanced. And you know what happened when I said that? Arsenal fans did not want to hear it. To them, their midfield is the best in Europe, best in the world. To be fair, they got the best in everything according to them. So, hey, it is what it is. But today they got outplayed by that team. Not just that team, but that midfield. The technical level that got displayed today, I'm telling you people, this is not something you see very often. And to be seeing this type of technique displayed at the top level, this is football, people. Arsenal had the physical attributes to go against PSG. Arsenal did want to go at it with the physical means, but they could not deal with the technical level of this PSG team. They just couldn't. Some of the combinations that were played in the second half, I'm thinking about the one where Barcola had come onto the pitch and Gonzalo Ramos had come onto the pitch as well. And just by themselves, they combined and just eliminated one player after another. What was it? Rice, then Saliba, like a couple of 1-2s. Barcola was free on goal, should have scored in my opinion. And listen, speaking about stuff that should have been scored, or speaking about occasions that should have been scored, this could have, Arsenal are lucky. This could have ended 2-3-0 easily. Barcola missed a chance. Gonzalo Ramos missed a chance. I think there were other chances, but off the top of my head, I can't quite remember it. This should have ended more, you know, and Arsenal are very lucky that they're still in this tie. Like I said, anything can happen. But like I said, that first half is one of the best football. That first half is some of the best football I've seen this season in the Champions League. Because the way Arsenal just got outplayed, they didn't have an answer for anything that PSG offered, apart from set pieces. And I did say that, okay, cool. When the set pieces were popular and they were scoring for fun from them, I said, okay, cool. But wait, when it comes to tough moments where Arsenal play against a team that can actually match them, they have to make those set pieces count, because if they don't, it's not going to mean anything. And fair enough, they scored from one early on in the second half, but it was offside, so, you know, it got disallowed. But that first half, man, Arsenal suffered. Oh my God. Any and everything Arsenal tried. And you know how sometimes Arsenal like to play in between the lines? They like to play the ball into Odegaard, who receives it on the half turn. He then plays it out wide to Saka. Saka dribbles in. He either finds Odegaard again. They play a 1-2. See, I can tell you, I'm literally telling you Arsenal's patterns of play. PSG knew these patterns of play. It's like they studied it. It's like they studied everything about Arsenal and the way they played, and they had an answer for everything defensively. They cut off all of the passing lines. Odegaard, nowhere to be found. They doubled up on Saka. And to be fair, Saka was the most dangerous man on Arsenal's team tonight. But still, they managed to contain him to a certain extent. You know? Odegaard, nowhere to be found. Declan Rice was probably the best out of the whole bunch in midfield today. Put himself about a little bit. The game got a bit physical at one point. A lot of fouls on both teams. Yellow cards being given here and there. But Arsenal did not... Yeah, it was incredible to see. That's why I'm stuttering, people. Like, PSG defensively had an answer for everything that Arsenal tried to do today. Everything. I mean, and this was at the Emirates. I can only imagine what it's going to be like at the Parc des Princes next week with PSG's fans. All of them singing from start to finish. And you heard them, PSG fans, today. You heard them today. And I've got to give credit once more. I've got to give credit to Luis Enrique because what he's doing with this team is just simply incredible. It's just simply incredible. I want to go through a couple of players. Ousmane Dembélé, 45 GA in 45 games for PSG. It's just absolutely outstanding. Another one that should be in the Ballon d'Or conversation, but for some reason, I've not really heard it. Ousmane Dembélé is having the season of his life. Involved in everything. Wants to get involved in everything. He's a leader. Even though he's not wearing the captain's armband, he's a leader. You can tell, you can hear it, you can see it. When he speaks in press conferences, when he's on the pitch, he's leading by example. Leading by example. Starting moves, finishing them off. Remember that clip of Luis Enrique talking to Mbappe and telling him, you have to set the example. If you want others to follow suit, you have to start. Because if you start pressing from the front, the rest will follow. The rest will follow. And I feel like Dembélé is doing what, I know he left now, he's gone to Real Madrid, but Dembélé is doing what Mbappe was supposed to be doing as the leader of this team. Dembélé, with his performances, he's really establishing himself as one of the key figures. With these performances, he's establishing himself as one of the key figures of this PSG team. And that's how you earn respect with your teammates. Boy, absolutely fantastic performance. Kvaratskhelia, I would probably say it was a good game. You know, he got the assist as well, by the way. Got the assist, very good assist. But I would say to his standards, it was a good game. It wasn't a fantastic game from him, but it was a good game. Désiré Doué, I found him a bit, he was bright, you know, showed a couple of bright things, lots of skills, but sometimes he showed skills in moments where they didn't need to be shown, in my opinion. But again, good game. That midfield, I mean, I'm running out of words to be talking about these three. Ruiz, Vitinha, João Neves. I've said what I've said already. One of the best midfields in Europe. Listen, there's no argument. There's no argument. The back four, Nuno Mendes, Pacho, Marquinhos, and Hakimi. That back four has to be up there with the best in Europe. Top two. That's what I would say. Top two. Because as much as people can say that they play in a farmers league, when it comes to playing teams in Europe, they're doing the business. Speaking of teams in Europe, I was talking about Luis Enrique earlier. Once again, credit to what he's built. Credit to what Luis Enrique has built with this team. And you know what's funny? People say they play in a farmers league. People say it's too easy for them. In the Champions League this season, he has outcoached Pep Guardiola's Man City, Unai Emery's Aston Villa, Slot's Liverpool, and now Arteta's Arsenal. Who was that guy again that said PSG wouldn't finish top four in the Premier League? I can't remember who it was. But if you know who it is, I'm trying to think. I can't remember who it was. But if you guys know who said that, please let him know to revisit that thought. Because if Luis Enrique can outcoach City, Villa, Liverpool, and Arsenal, are you sure? I'm just saying. And the main man for me tonight was Gianluigi Donnarumma. I mean, the difference in quality between him and David Raya was day and night. Some of the saves that were made, oh my goodness. That save from, what was it, when Trossard had the chance? Trossard's chance, great save. Great save, absolutely fantastic. The way he goes down so quickly for such a tall man, it's crazy, it's ridiculous. Another big save in the first half. Martinelli goes down quick again. Yeah, Gianluigi Donnarumma, give him the golden glove, whatever you want to give, whatever they give goalkeepers nowadays, he has to be in contention for that. That performance is going to be remembered. That performance is going to be remembered. Absolutely crazy. Speaking of Arsenal now, I've already mentioned those two chances. Arsenal weren't particularly bad. I wouldn't say they were bad. They weren't. They were not bad. But PSG were just better than them. And they just could not cope with everything that PSG were doing. The level of control that PSG had, the level of technique that PSG had. Arsenal were limited to set pieces and those two one-on-ones. And listen, this is where I understand what Arsenal fans say when they talk about the lack of quality going forward in certain situations. Now, I've talked about Martinelli being very poor in 1v1 situations. Now, yes, you can come and talk to me about the 1v1 against Real Madrid. No problem. That was a fantastic 1v1. Put it away, got his goal. But in crucial moments like this, you have to score. There's no excuse. You have to score. Trossard, same thing. You have to score. You have to score. Because if that's Saka on the other end, or on the other side rather, that's a goal. So those were two big chances, two massive, massive chances that Arsenal could have put away. Quality matters, man. Quality matters. And I've got to say, I don't know if I should talk about this because I'm really gonna sound like a hater, and Arsenal fans are gonna get onto me for saying this. And it's not just Arsenal, yeah? Let me just clarify. It's not just Arsenal. It's any team, even my team, United. I find it very strange when, and maybe it's just me, but I find it very strange when players go to the crowd and, do this. I know that when you're playing, the emotion sometimes can take over. Emotions can take over and you can do it. That's fine. It's absolutely fine. If it happens once or twice, that's cool. But it was like Arsenal players needed that. As if to say, if you guys don't, we can't play well. And I find it very strange. Ray has done it twice. He done it after the first save he did against Désiré Doué. And then the following shot that crashed onto the post. He went to the crowd or turned to the crowd and went, nobody responded. Halftime whistle goes. Raya goes to the crowd. We need you. We need you. Nobody responded. Respectfully, if nobody responds after the first time, just let it go. Focus on the game. Try and make sure, it stays 1-0, which you've done now. It's fine. You're still in the game, still in the tie. Martinelli did it about 2-3 times. Arteta did it about 2-3 times. And I'm just wondering, you're a good footballing team. You are a good team. You've done well to get to the semi-finals because you're a good team. Do you really need the crowd to be loud that much? That's just a question I'm asking myself because it looked very strange. It looked very strange. Now, again, maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe Arsenal fans can tell me if that's a regular thing that they do. But it just looked like desperation at some point. It's like if the fans did not do that, it's like they were starving for it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Again, I'm going to sound like a hater. And this is probably going to get clipped up. And I'm probably going to get slaughtered for it. But the game is the game. I accept it. The game is the game. But yeah, I just found it very strange because, listen, at the Parc des Princes, there's not going to be any of this because the crowd is not going to be yours. It's not going to be yours. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But I think Arteta has a lot to learn from this game. Tactically, he got absolutely outcoached. Outcoached on all levels by Luis Enrique, his Spanish compatriot. And this is something that we don't see very often. Arteta getting outcoached. But Arteta didn't have any response for anything that Luis Enrique had prepared with his team tonight. No answer for anything. Anything. And like I said, I just gave you... It was the same patterns. They tried. and tried the same patterns again and again and again. And it just didn't work because PSG were prepared. They tried the through balls. They tried the 1v1s. They tried the corners. They tried the set pieces. They tried the free kicks. They tried the usual, like I said, pass to Odegaard in between the lines on the half turn. He turns around, plays it to Saka, 1-2 with Odegaard. Odegaard chips it over, or lets Saka come in and whip it with his left. Like, I'm giving you the patterns. None of it worked today. None of it. And that's because PSG were prepared. And now, going back to the Parc des Princes, PSG are going to play free with their crowd behind them. I believe PSG can win this tie. I believe PSG can win this tie. Anything can happen in football, of course, but I think PSG got this, man. I think they got this. This PSG team is way too good and way too calm and relaxed on the ball and confident and sure of themselves to be letting this slip. So let me know what you think in the comment section below, people. Let me know what you think. I think this was a brilliant game of football. This, for me personally, tactically, I learned a lot. I enjoyed this football tonight from PSG. So let me know what you think in the comment section below, people. Like, share, comment, subscribe. If you made it till the end of this video, go in the comment section and type in fantastique, the French word. So instead of writing fantastic, take off the C and put in Q-U-E at the end. Fantastique. So yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe, people. And I shall see you tomorrow for the match reaction of Barcelona against Inter Milan. So stay tuned. Peace out, people. Thanks for watching. Bye.